Many scholars believe that Jataka tales are the narratives of Gautam Buddha's previous births. After attaining Bodhihood or enlightenment, the cycle of birth and death ceased for him. He had no more rebirths. But before the last birth, in which he could achieve this status, he was born at least 547 times on this earth. It is so guessed because there are the same number of stories available to us as Jatak Kathas. In every Katha, he is depicted as Bodhisattva, who is not necessarily a Homo sapien species. He may be even subhuman species, but he is virtuous enough and can be said to be proceeding towards Bodhisattva, Bodhihood. So, the last research, the latest ones, the available now in India, they do not corroborate this hypothesis. Jatak tales are in fact the management case studies. Every Jatak tale constitutes of 5 parts. The first part, known as Pachupannavattu, presents the event in which a managerial problem is posed. The subsequent part is Atit Katha, that is, a story of the past, which presents the character of Bodhisattva, who suggests the optimal solution of the problem. Every Katha is a combination of prose and poetry. The lyrical part is called Gatha. In the concluding part of every tale, it is mentioned that Bodhisattva was Buddha himself. It is probably this sentence which has created the confusion. After analyzing all the 547 Kathas, it has been established that this is only a style of narration. The objective of saying that Bodhisattva was none else than me, that is Buddha, it is meant that the solution offered for the posed managerial problem is consented by Shastra, who is the chief or the head of the monastery. Let us take example of Balakas Jatak, which I am going to read to you now. It is the story number 196, compiled in the second volume of Jatak Katha series. It got created in Jetwan monastery when a monk became restless due to sexual desires, and Gautam Buddha inquired him about its reason. The monk replied that since the time he saw the beautifully adorned lady in Sravasti city where he had gone for begging, he became infatuated and perturbed. Now, what is the managerial problem here due to this event? It is very obvious that in Vihar, the disciplined routine of all the monks and residents is for meditation leading to salvation. The sexual or any type of lust is to be relinquished. One has to control the mind, body, speech and actions. There is no scope for sexual pleasures in the ordained monk's life. Environment of the Vihar will be corrupted by the sexually aroused monk's behavior. Strict discipline has to be observed. Therefore, the monk's mind must be managed. he must be counseled to realize this mistake so that he changes the thought process. The infatuations must be dispelled. Therefore, Gautam Buddha narrates Atit Katha, that is the story of the past. Here, it must be noticed that every Atit Katha has a specific style. It has to start with the name of the ruler and his kingdom. Then the antecedents of Bodhisattva are given. The plot and description of the events is so chosen that the listener is able to match them with his own experiences. This is a must for an effective communication, and Shastra knows it well. He knows the previous socio-economic background of the listener, and so he knits the story in such a way that the listener gets connected even at the subconscious level. Thus, the psychological transformation of the listener monk begins. Now the story begins like this. In Tamraparni island, there was a Yaksh city, that means a city of the cannibals. This city was named as Sirisvathu. In this city lived Yakshinis, the female Yakshas, who adored themselves very beautifully and waited for the businessmen who took refuge in this island because their boats or ships got wrecked. These Yakshinis will present themselves as the house ladies, some as housewives, some with children, and some as damsels. They will try to win the confidence of the businessmen and treat them very sympathetically and offer them staying and resting facilities. Then they will tell their tales of woes that their husband sailed off for business. It's 3 years now gone, but he has never returned. Maybe they are no more on this earth. Thus, they will trap the businessmen and start living together. They lived with them until the next lot of prey, the next bunch of prey had come to the island. As soon as they found the new prey, they will put the old one behind the bars and they will eat up the previous ones already in the jail. Thus, they enjoyed on the island. Once, a group of 500 businessmen, led by their senior leader, met the same fate. Their ship was wrecked and destroyed. Somehow they could save their lives and took refuge in this island, in the Yaksh city. They got very much infatuated to these nice looking ladies, and everyone got the partner to live with. The Yakshinis enjoyed their company. However, after midnight, leaving them asleep, they ate the flesh of previously caught men in the jails, and after satisfying their hunger, they returned to their men in bed. The eldest of the businessmen, their leader, noticed that Yakshini is as if cold-blooded. Her body is very cold, which is not normal. He suspected that the lady is not a human species, is not Homo sapien species. The next night, he watched her secretly and confirmed that she is a man-eater. When new businessmen meeting their fate, a similar fate, will arrive, they will eat them also. So he consulted his fellow men and asked about their experiences. Many of them supported his views, but many did not. So those who agreed to leave and escape from this dangerous city flocked around the senior most businessman. Nearly 250 men out of 500 told that they do not believe in this theory and they are our new wives. It is immoral to leave them. They have given us so much to stay here and it will be a treachery if we leave them. So a group of 250 men which was afraid of the Yakshinis, they fled to a nearby safer place. And now Bodhisattva was then born as a horse, pure white, with the head of a crow. His manes were like jute ropes. He was a virtuous hybrid animal and used to visit this island almost daily from Himalayas through air, by the airway, and used to feed on the naturally growing rice in the mud of Tamraparni pond. He used to utter 3 times in the human voice, "Is there anyone wanting to fly out to the district?" Now, when this group, who were very much scared, when they heard this voice, they prayed to him, "Oh Master, kindly take us. We want to go to the district." Bodhisattva allowed. "Okay, ride me." Many climbed up at his back. Many caught hold of the tail. Many were just touching him and many were close to him. Bodhisattva was a miraculous horse with spiritual powers. All who prayed for his refuge got lifted up in the air and every one of them was reached to respective destination. Shasta, then the story finishes there, and the last Shasta then addressed all the monks like this, like the businessmen who followed the king horse, those who were in the trap of Yakshinis, they were destroyed, and those who were with the king horse, they were saved. So similarly, those who follow Dhamma and Sangha will get Brahmalok, and those who disobey will go to different types of hell. So here there is a lyrical hymn. He recited this gatha. Yo na kahanti o vadam nara buddhen desitam vyasnam te gamissanti rakhasi hiv vanija ye cha kahanti o vadam nara buddhen desitam sothim param gamissanti valahen ev vanijati. Meaning, those who do not behave as Buddha advises get miseries as businessmen trapped by Yakshinis, and those who follow the suggested path of Buddha safely reach across as the businessmen helped by the horse. Now, in the end of the story, the equivalence of the physical forms of the characters is established, as if both the stories are a continuum separated by time. So the 250 businessmen who took the help of the king horse are monks here in the Vihar, and the king horse was none else but me, that is Shasta. However, for 250 other businessmen who did not obey, nothing has been mentioned, because the objective of Jataka Katha is not to emphasize and explain the rebirths, but to manage the deviations from the set norms. With the help of an imaginary character, Bodhisattva, according to the problem posed in the first part, and the audience, Buddha knits an Atit Katha so that problem is solved most amicably and the defaulter is changed at psychological level to realize his mistake. This management can very well be termed as Buddhist management or Buddhist way of management, because it aims at arriving at win-win situation. That means Bhavatu Sabbam Mangalam.